Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, tonight I'm going to be talking about a little interview that Matt Maloney and Jim Cramer had last week about basically Jim Cramer asked them about them selling or, what they're going to do in the future and everything. So, I'm just going to give a couple thoughts on it. So, I thought it was kind of interesting, but at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, Grubhub's kind of just in no man's land, in my opinion. But basically, Matt Maloney is the CEO for Grubhub. So he just talked about Jim Cramer, about basically innovations that they're going up with, or plans of selling, and other things about the business. So, from what I got from the interview, at least, I felt like he's trying to replace drivers slowly. So he talked about basically having customers, order their food on the app and then just picking it up. So whenever they're ready, the app will tell them it's ready and they can just go pick it up. So it sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a very convenient thing, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense for everybody. I can see it working maybe in New York or somewhere where it's really big or really you're just on a move so much. But when it comes to either little towns or roads where you have to drive really far, it doesn't make sense. So it's not a really a thing that can happen all around the world basically or around the US. So I feel like they're kind of missing on that. Like, no matter what, I don't feel like they're going to be able to replace drivers, not anytime soon at least. And that's not helping them either. Like, it's fine. Some people like going to pick the food up, but at the same time, a lot of them don't. And that's why a lot of people order from the apps. Like, it's not, you know, it's more convenient to them because we got to remember, like somebody told me in the group me chat, like, the most valuable thing for us or humans is time. So, you don't want to get up, wait 10, 15 minutes for the food or order the food and then in 20 minutes it's ready. Then you got to go over there. And then, it's just like, it can be a little bit of a hassle, especially when people, to be honest, some people are just lazy and some people just really don't have the time or they rather just do other things with their time. So that's what I feel like that's what mostly the apps are for people that don't want to spend the time, especially during lunchtime for people. Like, a lot of people order the food because they either want to get their work done, faster and faster so they can get out at the time they are, or they might be behind. And if they go to get the food at the restaurant, then, that's taking away the time from work or their lunch break. It's still going to take a while to get there and then you have to come back and eat, or if you eat there, it's still too much. So it's very convenient for basically people that are working or people that are at their house already. They can just order the food and, the driver's going to be there, or, at a certain amount of time, the food's going to be there. So they can plan ahead of time. And, so I don't feel like they're trying to replace drivers, but I feel like that's going to be very difficult unless they just have drones or self-driving cars. But even then, it's going to be a hassle for that. So then Jim Cramer asked him about selling, and he kind of just like hammered on him, which I did like, because he was just kind of like consistently asking him, like, rumors and everything. And then he even told him that that's why his stock went up, and it made Matt Maloney chuckle, but I know it kind of hurt him inside, like, damn. But basically, like, he wanted to know, like, are the rumors true and everything. And then Matt Maloney said they weren't true, that, that they're open to it, though, which, that can lead to anything. But they haven't got an offer, or they actually want to do a merger, which would be interesting. But at the same time, that it's kind of difficult to read Grubhub, only because they did lose the lead when it comes to the top site, or I'm sorry, the top app for food delivery. But at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because they can learn from that, but at the same time, it feels like they're a little bit stubborn and they don't learn from mistakes that they've made, or they don't adjust to the fly well. Like, it takes them a while to just get things right. So that's kind of, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did sell or at least merged. Like, that would be interesting. I would say, to me personally, for a driver, I'd rather, if Google bought them or Alphabet, that would be the best. But that's probably not going to happen because I don't think Google wants any part of that. But what does help Grubhub too is, you know, for all their downfalls and everything, for a public trading company, they're actually profitable. Like, DoorDash is losing millions, Uber Eats is losing millions, Postmates is probably burning cash like crazy too. So they, it might not be the best for the drivers, but they're profitable, and I'll give them that. Like, I'll give them credit for that. Like, you have to be pretty strong for that, but then, strengths come with weaknesses, and it's kind of all over the place. But I do agree with him, and he talked about DoorDash. Basically, Jim Cramer asked him, like, oh, DoorDash took the lead from you and everything. But what I did agree with Matt Maloney was, they're turning, let's say, dollars into 80 cents, which is very true. Like, DoorDash is a very unprofitable company, just like any other food delivery, except for Grubhub. And they're burning cash like crazy. Like, they're valued at a certain, I think it was $12 billion now. But they're just burning through cash. They're burning through cash. And then I know, like, for us, the pay isn't the best. But, like, their cash burn is pretty ridiculous. And I don't know if that's going to be sustainable if they IPO. So that means that, they go into the stock market and they basically offer shares of the company. But I don't know if they're going to be able to last long term, only because they're burning so much cash that it's pretty ridiculous. Because if you see Uber Eats, if you see their quarterly earnings and everything, you'll see that they're actually profitable when it comes to the driving part, but they're losing millions and millions on Uber Eats. Like, it's a ridiculously cash burning place, and that's why Postmates did an IPO last year, because they're probably running through cash too, just like WeWork did. So I do agree with him when it comes to that not being sustainable, because I don't know how long it's going to be, which isn't a good thing for us. Because if you think about it short term, it is good. But if you're thinking about it maybe, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, is DoorDash really going to be here? Especially with them doing that. Or if they are here, they're probably going to have kind of like a Grubhub mentality where, okay, now we're publicly traded. We need to make a profit. And then they'll slowly but surely try to make profit. But at the same time, that means we're going to lose, because we all know at the end of the day, if these companies really want to make money, where are they going to take it from? From us. Always us first. We're going to be the losers in all of this, because they have to pay us. So what do? They'll give us a pay cut, and it's just a big mess. So, like, it's going to be interesting. I don't feel like it's going to be the best situation, but I do agree with him when it comes to that, because I don't think it's sustainable. And I don't know if Postmates is even going to be here for long. And then Uber Eats is selling off, at certain places, like in India, they sold their food delivery company, which was smart of them, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, it's just a cash burn. Like, they're not making any profits from that. Even though, like, they pay us so little, they're not making anything from that. So, but I do feel like Grubhub's changing gradually. And I don't know if it's for the best for drivers, but for them, it'll probably be better. But that's the only thing that sucks. Like, I feel like, I don't think they can give us another pay cut, to be honest. Like, as long as they pay us, I feel like this is going to be the bottom, at least for Grubhub. I don't know about the other apps, but for Grubhub, I feel like, I don't know if they can go any lower than this, to be honest with you, when it comes to base pay. Like, for us, we're working for the tips. It's basically like any other app, except for these tips, you see them up front. But I don't know, guys. Like, it'll be very interesting. And then I feel like it kind of makes me scared, only because all the other companies are just losing so much money. I don't know how long it's going to be until, they run out of money, or they just sell off because they just can't make a profit. But anyways, it was just a little quick video about thoughts about that. It was a very interesting interview. And if you guys want to listen to it, I'll link it down on the description. All right, guys.